What do we got here? So this is a different kind of problem. This is a problem where we're trying to figure out something based on a weight calculation. And in other words, the dosage is given in an order that's based on their weight. The more they weigh, the more you give them. This is particularly found in pediatrics because we don't want to give a 3-year-old the same amount that we give a 16-year-old. We don't want to give a 2-month-old the same amount that we give an 8-year-old. Why? Because the 8-year-old is much bigger. So typically we're going to base it on their weight. There are other things we could base it on, but usually it's their weight. So anytime you're giving this, and I call this a super unit, but basically anytime I'm giving something per kilogram, that's going to be what I start with. That is my order right there. The prescriber orders acetaminophen for pain and fever once every 4 hours at 12 milligrams per kilogram per dose. So I know that this is my start. And by the way, whenever I have kilograms per dose, I write it this way. Kilograms on bottom, dose on bottom. And you might say, well, what's that dot? Well, it means times because those two are multiplied together. But I don't care. All that means is I've got kilograms on bottom and dose on bottom and milligrams on top. And what does it ask me to find? To the nearest tenth of a milliliter, how much acetaminophen will the nurse administer? Okay? So looking at that, I'm looking for milliliters. And that's how much they'll administer. That's actually per dose, right? That is my goal, milliliter per dose, because that's how much they administer. Not for the whole time, just for that one instance. So anytime we're given a problem where we have this kilogram, I'm going to give you a hint. They got to give you the weight. So if you see them tell you a weight, this is kind of like a red flag to you that you're probably dealing with a milligram per kilogram dose. Now, if it isn't per kilogram or it isn't per pound, then it's not. And they just gave you that to fool you. But as soon as I see this, I know I need to multiply by weight to get rid of the kilograms. Now this is the weird part for most people because I'm going to show you a strategy. What I do is to get rid of the kilograms, I got to use the weight. So I'm actually going to put the weight up top, 39 pounds. This is a pretty neat little strategy. Now if you've been following my videos, I tell you every time cancel. Cancel as soon as you can. Problem is, you can't cancel that. And you also are probably saying, why aren't you coming up with a game plan? You love game plans. Because I'm trying to get rid of the kilograms first. That's the first step, okay, before I come up with a game plan even. And nothing cancels, and that kind of stinks. But we know that there's a relationship between pounds. Oh, and by the way, that's over 1. Because it's just their weight. It's not their weight per, no, it's just, that's their weight. Per person, I guess, what you could say. But really, that's their weight. So 39 pounds over 1, just put it over 1 every time. Every time you get a problem like this, put their weight over 1. Now, if it doesn't cancel because those aren't the same units, just think, wait a second, I know something about pounds and kilograms. There's 2.2 pounds per kilogram, per 1 kilogram. There are more pounds in a kilogram. Okay, remember that. So where am I going to put the 2.2 pounds? I'm going to put it in the bottom. Why? Because the pounds need to cancel. And I'll put the kilogram on top. Now it's like Christmas Day, because you got all kinds of stuff you can do now. I got pounds canceling. Yay. But I also have kilograms here and kilograms there. They cancel. Now look what I have. I have milligrams per dose. That's a lot like milliliters per dose. A lot like it. So, what can I do now? Well, now I'm going to make my game plan. I'm trying to go from milligrams per dose to milliliters per dose. How am I going to get there? Well, dose is dose. Do I have something that relates milligrams to milliliters? Right there, I do. I know that there are 160 milligrams in 5 milliliters. That actually is going to take me right from milligrams to milliliters. This actually turns out to be, once I get it in the right form, an easy problem. I'm just going to add on to this pig pen. So how am I going to go from milligrams per dose to milliliters per dose with this guy? What am I going to start with, the milliliters and milligrams? I want to focus on the milligrams, because there's milligrams, there's milligrams. 160 milligrams on bottom, 5 milliliters on top, milligrams, cancel. I got milliliters per dose, I'm done. Okay? So, what seemed like a really complicated problem is not that super complicated. I'm really just gonna do I have the right units? Yeah, milliliters per dose, I'm happy. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna take 12 times 39 times 5, then I'm going to divide it by 2.2, and I'm going to divide it by 160. And that is 6.64, and I want it to the nearest tenth, paying attention to that. So that's 6.6 milliliters, because 6.64 rounds to 6.6 milliliters. That's what I'm giving them every dose. Just a key thing I want you to remember with this is that anytime you're given this milligram per kilogram multiplied by the weight, if the weight's already in kilograms, it cancels, it's nice. If it's in pounds, you're going to have to use your conversion in the next step, and then you do a lot of canceling. And then once you get rid of the kilograms, then you make your game plan, if that makes sense to you. If not, stop into the Learning Center and see me, I'll help you out.